Hi, I'm Shelby, and I would like to tell you a little bit about Tanzania and my research the past 8 weeks. But first, I want to say I'm really glad that I took this course because I had no idea about what Africa was like before I took it. In fact, in my mind, it was very much like the picture here behind me. That picture is not taken in Africa, but it's a jungle in Thailand, and that was kind of what I pictured Africa to be like the whole continent for all I knew. And I also have these pillows here just to show Westerners' idea of Africa, of jungle. So I have animals. I've got 4 of these pillows with different animals on them. I wanted to show you the giraffe, but someone's sleeping on it right now. So anyway, my thesis for this essay was that based on the Tanzania's prominent location, natural resources, and missionary activity, Tanzania remains exposed to much external culture. This exposure, however, has not hindered their native culture. Tanzania's commitment to maintaining their traditional native identity continues to prevent total manifestation of outside culture dominance. So then I just go on to explain, why that is. And there's different aspects of Tanzania that I think the Tanzanians are very proud of, and that it helps them keep their identity and not be absorbed by these outside cultures. So first of all, they have a lot to be proud of. Their geography is amazing. They have Lake Victoria, for example, which is the source of the Nile. And then they have Lake Tanganyika, which is the oldest and deepest lake in Africa. I think either in the continent, I think of all of Africa, yeah, oldest and deepest. And then Mount Kilimanjaro, which is the highest peak in Africa, and Serengeti National Park, which is full of the wildlife like on those pillows that I showed you. And then the Ngorongoro, can't say that word, crater, which is one of the wonders of the world. So Tanzania is not just, it is a coastal country, but it also has 2 islands extending as Zanzibar and Pemba, which is known for their spices. So Tanzania is culturally diverse. 120 native people groups mostly speak Bantu language, but the 4 most prominent groups, I'm going to try to say them here, is Sukuma, Nyamwezi, Makand, and the Chaga of Kilimanjaro. So yeah, there's a lot of diversity there, but not international diversity, not as much as of that. And then, so I talk a little bit about Julius Nyerere, who was president from 1963 to 1964, and he really pushed the idea of national unity and patriotism. Economically, Tanzania, because of their coastal location, puts them in a great place for trade. It has historically been a part of the trade route, but there's trading there, and agriculture is mostly what they trade. Mangroves used for medicine, and fuel and timber is also something that they trade. I didn't know what a mangrove was before I studied this. That was new. They also have a lot of grain. They do have iron ore and gold. Gold mining was an investment that they thought that would turn out and really help them out of poverty, but unfortunately political corruption stopped that. So cultural art and storytelling. Art celebrates and remembers culture and also produces culture. This is something that they've used to maintain their culture. So preserving oral storytelling is something that happens a lot at events, weddings, and deaths, birthdays. And this is one way that they can tell of their heritage and encourage future peaceful relationships. Preserving traditional cultural beliefs is another way that they keep their heritage. Although they've adopted Christianity and Islam, like half and half in the country, there's an overlap with statistics when it comes to Christianity, Muslim, and traditional beliefs, because they tend to adopt Christian and Muslim beliefs along with their already folk religions or tribal faiths. So more acceptance of Islam is especially in Zanzibar because of the Muslim heritage with trade. Christianity has a colonial background, which makes them not as friendly towards that. I mean they are friendly towards it, but it feels like a foreign faith more than Islam. But both are considered foreign. Christians have found a more personable and relatable way to reach Africans through medical missions, as many know Paul White, the jungle doctor. He was the first medical missions to go to Tanzania. European colonization started out with explorers, Vasco da Gama in 1498, Burton and Speke in 1857. But then the Berlin West Africa Conference is when European countries divided up Africa amongst themselves. Germany took over Tanzania in 1884. But independence for Tanzania came in 1961 and 1964 after World War II. And so here they're united under one nation, and they have democracy, and they're working towards democracy now. And anyway, this is many ways that they have tried to keep their heritage and remember who they are as Tanzanians, even with all this outside influence. Thanks.